Good morning. Hello, ladies. Hello, everybody. I hope you are having a fabulous day. Welcome to the Awaken Woman podcast. My name is Claire Burt. I am the identity coach here at Inspired Lifestyle, and I want to welcome you wholeheartedly to my most favorite podcast in the world. The Awaken Woman is a weekly podcast that comes through, and it is all about helping women raise themselves, find themselves, and move through all the clunky and chunky parts of life that we find ourselves in that really don't resonate with us anymore. It's really about the emotions, the energetics, our intuition, our mindset, and what can we do to be the best versions of us. So welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to episode 2 of season 2 of the Awaken Woman podcast. I'm really excited. So many great connections that have happened. And if you keep up to date with episodes coming up, I've got some phenomenal guests that are bringing some real life experiences to you so that you don't feel alone and you don't feel broken. Because at a time in my life when I felt I was broken, when I felt I had nothing, a wise woman once said to me, "You're not broken, it is just tough at the moment." So shout out to everyone who feels that it's a little bit of a hamster wheel right now. It's a little bit of, it's too hard for me right now. And I feel like I'm falling apart because you're going through a transformational stage, and I'm here to help you move through all of these emotions. So welcome to episode 2. It is all about finding me. I want to talk a little bit about today about losing your inadequacies, okay, and finding what truly matters. I didn't realize I had such a fear of inadequacy ingrained in my soul. It wasn't until I worked with my beautiful coach who mentored me through a really difficult stage in my life that I understood the reason I never valued myself or put myself forward is because I never thought I was good enough for anything. I didn't think I was exceptional, and I thought it was just me, and it was something that was quite strange. Growing up, I now look back and see all of those things weren't a fear of disappointment. It wasn't that I was too hard on myself. They were all contributing factors, but it was this deep rooted sense and fear of feeling so inadequate that led to a point in my life where everything fell apart. So last year was a really difficult year for me, and the year before. I've come through that now, and if you're a part of my coaching groups, I lead you into a lot more of the detail. I don't mention any of this on the public forum. It's only saved for my clients because I believe that is where those who invest in themselves get the most and inner sanctum. So losing myself and fearing my inadequacies are something that contributed to me being a people pleaser, something that contributed to me being a fear of disappointment and always chasing the gold star. Now, that is a really good asset in your arsenal if you are in the corporate world, like I used to be 5 years ago, but it is not something that is sustainable, and it is a major contributing factor to burnout. To anyone who has high functioning anxiety, you are going to resonate with everything that I'm saying. Perhaps you're even going to have a few light bulbs, and that's okay. Like I said at the top of this, you are not broken. It is just difficult at the moment. And what I want you to understand is something that is so deeply ingrained in you and is not your fault, is something that is able to be worked through and fixed. And it's taken a lifetime for you to get here, so a quick fix isn't going to be sustainable for you. So let's talk a little bit about inadequacies and what they look like. Inadequacies can range, like anything we deal with in the modern era. It can feel in terms of comparison. You might be comparing yourself to somebody else, whether it's in progress, whether it's in materialistic assets. It could be actually physical appearance, which is something that, a child of the 80s and the 90s, we are very much used to in terms of the supermodel phase, and especially now in social media with so many different filters and apps, we don't even know what we look like. And if you follow me along on my socials, you will know I often rock up without makeup. I've probably got unwashed hair. And I am not a flob. I am a very well put together woman. It's just that's how I choose to prove or wake up into the world and show the world this is what I am good for. This is how you can relate to me. It's taken a long time for me to be comfortable in my own skin. It has taken me a long time to be comfortable with what I have been able to do as a mother and produce beautiful little boys, what my body has done, I am very proud of. And when you sit in the seat of comparison, it can be very difficult to move through that. But knowing that you've been through worse, knowing that that is only a contributing factor for you, a fraction of what you want, makes it a lot easier to move through. Also helps when you have the support of people around you. So for those that are aware and understand my philosophy and my ethos, I'm very big on cultivating inner circles, and I teach a huge module part of that in the activated woman, which we start soon as well. And it's all about cultivating the right people in the right positions who are going to support you, to help you move through your inadequacies, who you can lean on the days where you feel like you want to chuck it all in. Who do you lean on? And most of the time, it's not going to be your partner or your husband or your best friend. It's going to be someone who sits on the outer circle of your life. You perceive to them to be on the outer circle, but they're actually in the inner sanctum. And I have a few people that are like this. I'm very, very blessed to have a supportive team, which are family members, best friends, and husbands. But there are some people that I ask and I vent perhaps a little bit more to it. It could be your girlfriends. It could be, for me, it's coaches and friends of mine that are in the same profession as I do, and we bounce off each other. So it's that feeling of companionship within someone who knows what it's like, what you're going through, and listening to their techniques, listening to how they move their clients through. So it's some new information that you already know. That is what helps me move through my inadequacies on the days where I just want to chuck it all in. I am very blessed to be aligned with people who have similar values as me. So it's very easy for me, and I'm comfortable bringing people along for that journey as well. So it's been an effort. It's been a long learning lesson for me. I've had to move people in and out of my inner circle for a very, very long time. Had people in the wrong spots for many years and relied on them. And they were just telling me things they wanted me to do. Because I had that fear of inadequacy, I would just always go and do it. Chase that gold star, be the good girl. But what it meant is I was helping people get things off their list and actually running away from what I truly wanted, because I was so scared to actually say, no, this is what I feel like doing. This is what I want to do. That I didn't have my voice. I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know how to communicate with influence and feel brave enough to disappoint people because it wasn't what they wanted. Okay, once I started stepping away from that, once I started stepping into something that felt good for me, so much changed. So many things in my life in terms of professional life have shifted. And as an impatient woman who suffers from high functioning anxiety, I really, really need to sit in reflection and patience a lot. That doesn't sit well with me because I come from the corporate world. I come from being a mum who has managed households, working full-time, kids, small business. It is being controlling and sitting in my masculine doing energy is something that was ingrained in me and I've always known. So sitting in feminine energy and allowing that space has really, for someone who gets in her head a lot, seems like you're on the wrong path, but you're not. So if you are someone who is feeling like you're constantly doing, and you are constantly sitting in that seat of, I never have enough of, you are in scarcity mindset. You don't have enough time, energy, money, opportunity. You don't have what others have. If you feel that you're constantly just pushing it against the hill and nothing is happening, I want you to implore and reach out for some help, because you need to really reset that mindset and you need to learn some key activation codes that are going to change a lot in terms of your energetics. Move into your feminine energy so that you learn the balance between your masculine and feminine energy, and stop sitting in that wounded feminine. Now, if this is intriguing, something you have know nothing about what I'm talking about, then I implore you to come along and ask for some information regarding the activated woman. The activated woman is my handwritten program. It is a 12-week program that delivers 6 key promises that will focus and activate, change your mindset, your energetics, your intuition, your habits, your communication, so that you manifest the dream life you want, not what others are expecting you to do. And it's a brave step to stick into that field and into this learning opportunity, because we don't have time, we don't have effort, we don't have energy. But let me ask you, if you feel lost right now, if you feel stuck, if you feel shitty, if you feel like it's all too much and there is no hope, what are your solutions and strategies to move through this phase? Now, for me, it would be aligning with someone who is going to keep you accountable, aligning with someone who is going to show you what worked for her in her darkest moments, in terms of relationship breakdowns, reconnections, business, not seeing progress, not sitting in procrastination for too long, missing opportunities. That is someone that is I would love to learn from, because it's going to mean that it's more centered around what I want. And the more that we become so centered and ingrained and relatable with somebody, it makes it so much easier for us to feel connected, safe, and not broken. And that is what I want to implore you ladies to have a think about. If you are sitting in this inadequate feeling that you are just not good enough, that you just never appreciate the progress that you have, that you never set time aside to reward and recognize your progress. It's a fear of your inadequacy that's doing it. You are not broken. So when you learn to journal, when you learn to meditate, when you learn to let your walls down around people who understand your journey, you start to understand that when you say I am grateful for, when you say I am proud of, when I say I get to, the whole world changes. Now, let me let you in on a little secret. I might be sitting here from my beautiful home office where I get to work on summer holidays with my kids, but the last 18 months have been pure hell. The last 18 months for Claire Burt have been one out of such alignment that I almost lost everything. I was so disconnected in my marriage. I was so disconnected as a mother. I was so untrue to the person that I wanted to be, that all I was sitting in this fear of I'm not good enough. I'm never going to be good enough. No one sees me. No one loves me. It's not my fault. It's your fault. You did this. You said this. You did that. Where, yes, that may have been true, but I had contributing factors that I didn't see, because I allowed my ego to take over. So what I'm saying is, it's not going to all be your fault, but there will be contributing factors that, as a maturity level sinks in, and as you become brave with your thoughts, and as you allow yourself to sit with yourself, you start to understand that maybe I didn't act in the right way. Maybe I wasn't acting in the way that I would love my children to act. And that is the epitome of what we're talking about here within Inspired Lifestyles and the Activated Woman, is, would you be happy with the way that your kids are speaking to themselves right now, the way that you are? So all this negative talk you are saying, all these downfalls, all the I'm not good enough, all the I can't, the I don't, if your kids said those exact same phrases that you are repeating to yourself multiple times a day, what is your strategy to help them? Is it something that you would say to step out of it? Because why are you not saying that to yourself? Okay. And that, as someone who has an inadequacy, it was much, much easier for me to give my advice than take my advice. And it was only when I sought external help to move through these blockages and these thought processes that it really changed for me. So when I truly listened in and I was stuck in my inadequacies, I lost everything. I lost communication with myself, with my kids, with my husband, with my family. I shut the entire world off. My relationship and friendship with my best friend, fell apart because I was closed off to the world. I didn't want people to fix me. I didn't want people to save me. I was too independent for that. Yet all I probably wanted was what I didn't want. And it's only when I stepped away from and isolated myself for God knows how long, months, 6 months, that I was able to let go of all the hurt I was carrying and really reach out and have conversations. So it can be fixed and it can be done. It's just, are you willing And are you brave enough to take that step to say, I don't want to keep doing this hamster wheel. I don't want to keep feeling lost. I don't want to keep feeling hidden. I don't want to feel like I'm not good enough anymore, because the effect is I'm pushing people away. I'm pushing people to the side. I'm not indulging in conversation. I'm not living my life. I'm constantly worried about what I don't have. And my scarcity mindset and fear of scarcity is taking over, and I don't want that anymore. So, what are some strategies to move through this, ladies? Well, continuing listening to this podcast and reading material in the best way that you sink information in. Ask yourself, are you an audio listener? Okay. Are you a kinesthetic learner? Are you a visual learner? Find out how you best learn and find material and resources that do that. For me, I need to learn in real life. So I am much better as a visual learner and hands-on learner, always have been. Never really worked well reading and learning from textbooks. I needed the hands-on approach, which is why I delivered my format coaching like this, which is why I deliver live videos, which is why I still deliver group coaching and live sessions, because I want people to see the passion. I want people to see the real me, the hand actions, the emotion, the feeling that generates through a video. You know, now that we're out of COVID, I'll be able to do workshops in person. Little things like that mean so much more to me because I can gauge the energy, and I'm an energetic learner. So find how you best learn and consume everything. Find your person that delivers the information that you are most attracted to. Find someone who breaks it down for you, that gives you real life experience that she has experienced. You don't want to learn from someone who's only learned it in a book, because they can't give you the real life tips and her experience. I want to learn and I want to follow someone who's lived the struggle that I've lived, and I know I can work those same shoes, because then I don't feel like I'm broken. Then I don't feel like I'm the only one, and I don't feel like I'm not good enough because I'm following someone who's done it. That's what works for me. And that's all about patience. Okay, patience and slow guidance. It is a marathon, it is not a sprint. So take your time and do the learnings. Find a coach that is going to give you the right meditations, who may even record bespoke meditations for you. Find a coach that is going to ask you those really juicy questions that are going to get you thinking a little different. Okay. Find a coach who is going to give you the time to integrate your learnings, that is not going to ask you to do a set coaching session 7 days in a row, because you can't learn that. This is why I do my programs now over 12 weeks instead of 6. We have 6 modules, one a fortnight over 12 weeks, so that you can integrate what we've learned. You can find what works for you. You can have experience. You can experiment. You can research. That worked for me. That didn't. I want to mix this up tomorrow. That is what is important in finding yourself. When you lose your identity, you need to follow someone who's going to break it down for you. Life is too busy and easy. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to copy and paste what someone else has done. Find that copy paste person. Because once you do, life changes. And it's easier to implement, and it's easier to create a habit around that. It's easier then to talk to yourself better, to improve your communication. You then want to feel more energetic, and you want to keep going. You want to push. That is when your manifestations happen, when you are clearly aligned with every pillar in your life. You then start to bring people along for the journey. You find your people around you. Your husband might support you. Your kids are interested in what you're doing. Your relationships improve. You send an I love you message, you might receive one back out of the blue. What would that mean in terms of your energetics, your identity? How would you feel as a woman knowing you are now thought of because you did the work in you and you gave that love out? That is what we do within the Activated Women in Inspired Lifestyles. That is the basis. That is my life story, guys. That is why I am so passionate. I hope you can feel it and hear it, because that is what I'm learning. I'm not teaching you something from a book. I've learned strategies that I've implemented into my story. My story hasn't changed. It's grown, but it hasn't changed. The same feelings were there, the same struggles were there, the same blockages were there. New ones have come in and I've worked through those and I teach on that now. So that is what is going to get you moving through your inadequacies and finding what you truly, truly want. It's going to take time. It's going to take a process. You're going to suck at it because you need to find what you want and what you don't want. That is why you need to align with someone who is going to speak their truth and be direct and not promise that you are going to feel X, Y, and Z in 10 days because it's utter rubbish. You want to have someone that's going to tell you, you're going to sit in a class and listen and you're going to feel so emotional. And the next day, all you're going to want to do is drink water because you feel so mentally tired and emotionally drained because it's triggered a response in you that needs to be healed. That is what you want. It is not a rush process, guys. So, ladies, I hope you've enjoyed this session. It has been an interesting session to work through. I would implore you to reach out via the contact details. If you are interested in the activated woman, head over. I'm going to drop a link to my website. Make sure you go and say hi and check out the details as well. It is really important just to arm yourself with some resources that you may not have seen before. And that is what is important here in 2023. It's about building your toolkit, ladies. And this is a couple options for you. So I hope you enjoy your week. Please like, share, and mention me in all your socials. And I look forward to connecting with you next week. Bye, guys.